Dad, I'm home!
Darling, you're not supposed to be here. We could all get into big trouble.
I have something very important to tell you. By the time I was a week old, my hair was longer than I was. My mom would have to cut it off every morning after my bath. No one knew why my hair kept growing and growing. My best friend was Jason. Our parents sent us to school for the first time when we were already 7 years old. We had to sit in kindergarten with all the little kids because we didn't know how to read or write. It was embarrassing. Years passed at that horrible school and we never managed to get above 40% in anything. Our parents couldn't always afford to send us there. When we were almost teenagers, we decided that we'd look for ways to make some extra money. We started by raiding the fruit trees of people who lived in nicer neighborhoods. This brought in a bit of money, but not enough.
If we can make money selling fruits we stole, I'm sure we can make money selling other things.
The next day, we started breaking into people's houses. Jason had a friend around the corner called Carlos. He was much older than we were, and I think he was part of a gang. He'd buy the things from us, and I guess his gang arranged to sell them for more money to make a profit. Jason and I were able to make life a bit easier for our parents. I think they had an idea that we were up to no good, but they didn't ask questions because they really needed the money. Then one day, Carlos had an idea.
Let's rob that bodega down the street.
But how are we going to do that? We don't have any weapons or anything like that.
I do.
I don't know why, but this whole idea had me more freaked out than usual. But I decided to go through with it anyway because we were guaranteed to get at least $1,000 each. And that was a whole lot of money for me. Carlos told us his plan and we followed along. He was supposed to show his weapon, which turned out to be a baseball bat, to the cashier while we took all the money and put it into a bag. Then we'd run out of the store and celebrate when we got to our hideout. But that was not how it worked out at all. We got into the bodega, and Carlos began threatening the cashier. As I moved to the cash register to collect the money, I saw two huge men behind Carlos.
Drop your weapon, we're cops.
Carlos looked defeated and surrendered. All three of us were taken downtown to the police station. Carlos was arrested and sent to prison because he was an adult. Jason and I were kept in the station until our parents got there. Jason got to go back home, but somehow it was decided that my parents were neglecting me and that's why I had to resort to stealing. A social worker was brought in and she made the decision for me to be taken away from my family and placed in foster care.
You can't be serious.
Don't take our baby girl away from us.
I don't want to go. I want to stay with my family.
The decision is final. We already have a place for her.
I cried, begged, and pleaded, but she would not change her mind. I was taken away and brought to my foster family's home that night. They were a weird bunch, and I refused to speak to them.
Do you want anything to eat?
We have lots of sausages. Your hair is so pretty.
I guess you don't feel like talking. Well, we'll show you to your room. You'll have a room all to yourself. We hope you like it. I'm sure you didn't have all of this amazing stuff in the trailer park.
I wanted to push Linda out of the window. Yes, the room was beautiful, but I didn't appreciate her talking about my real home like that. I got into bed and she closed the door. I was so upset about what happened the night before that I'd forgotten about my hair. I decided I couldn't keep it a secret from them anyway, so I just went to breakfast with my hair swinging next to my knees.
Wow, Julia, that's some amazing hair you have. Was it this long last night?
No.
Wow, it talks.
I just wanted to go back to my parents, and most times I wanted to burst into tears. But I kept strong. They forced me to go to school the next week. I was put in a 9th grade class, and trust me when I say that this experience was even worse than getting picked up by the cops for trying to rob a store. Everyone treated me like I was contaminated and I understood absolutely nothing. And living with Linda and Mario wasn't as horrible as school until I found out they'd been stealing my hair. But one night I heard them talking in the living room and I was horrified. It was about midnight when everyone was supposed to be asleep. I left my room to get something from the kitchen when I heard them talking.
So the lab test determined some of the strands of her hair actually contained diamond particles. I don't know how it's possible. They already identified a place that would buy it. They wanted me to bring her in so they could conduct some tests, but I said no. It'd be better to just cut her hair every time it grows and sell it. I don't think she wants to become a lab rat. Plus, she never has to know. Just take the stuff out of her trash can every day.
We could be filthy rich.
Not so loud. You're going to wake everyone up.
Ugh, despicable, I thought. But hearing that conversation was about to save my life. The next day, I pretended I was going to school. I hid in the bushes until I was sure they'd left the house to go to work. Then I went to their bedroom to look around. I wanted the address of the company that would buy my hair. I went through all their drawers until I found an envelope with a big diamond drawn on the top. I shoved it into my pocket and ran out of the house. I ran and ran until I reached the trailer park. Mom! Dad! I'm home!
Darling, I'm so happy to see you. But you're not supposed to be here. We could all get into big trouble.
I have something very important to tell you. I told them all about the company that would buy my hair, and I gave them the envelope. My dad opened it and started reading the contents.
It looks legit. And you were saying this Linda and Mario dude were going to sell your hair to make themselves rich? Well, we can just use this for ourselves.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, dear, but I don't know if it's safe for you to hide here. I'll ask Mrs. Wilson next door if you could stay there for a while. I don't think the police would search her trailer.
I hid out in Mrs. Wilson's trailer for a few days. We heard on the news that Linda and Mario had filed a missing persons report, but somehow the police never came to search the trailer park. My dad tried to sell some of my hair, and when he came home with $10,000 one day, we all nearly fainted. In a few months, we had enough money to buy a huge mansion in Beverly Hills. After my parents paid for it in full, I turned myself into the cops and told them I'd run away from my foster parents. My biological parents were called in and they made the case that they were financially stable now and could afford to take care of me. The social worker came to tour our mansion and she nearly fainted. So my parents were allowed to keep me. My mom just finished her master's degree in finance, and my dad is working on becoming a certified mechanic. My brother and sister have the life I wish I had when I was a kid, and I'm happy I could have done that for them. They go to great schools, they have great rooms, and I always make sure they have the best toys and latest gadgets. Oh, and do you think I forgot about Jason? Because I didn't. He lives in the house next to mine, and we're working together to create a business.